Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is our story time together. It's also our final one that I will be posting for a while because this is closure to the current Venus cycle. This is the last month, and we're starting to cross over into the new cycle. So, just in case I have folks listening that aren't familiar, the Venus cycle is an 18-month cycle where we do 9 months of release work and 9 months of reclamation work. This circle has been together throughout. It's really beautiful. And now, because we're moving into a new cycle, I'm opening it up for new people to join. So consider it. But our 9 months of release work pretty much went around spring, summer of 2020 to spring of 21. And spring 21 initiated our reclamation side, which is what we're completing here. In my circle, we start at the root and we end at the root. So we release from the root all the way up to the crown. And because we have 9 months, I've added the Earth Star Chakra, which connects us to the core of the earth, and the Soul Star Chakra, which connects us to the heavens. So that gives us our 9 chakras to work with. We have a different sign every month. And with this go round, we did stories and archetypes. Because of the Gemini theme, we knew it was time to tell a new story. When we got to the midpoint and it was an Aries theme, that new narrative that we want to live into has to include a new purpose and passion and direction. That has all been reset thanks to social collective activations, right? That have reset everything. So we're all scrambling to adapt and adjust. But Venus has this beautiful rhythm that gives us permission every 18 months to shift our personal individual values and priorities. And then every 8 years, she goes back to the same places over and over to do some deeper work. And right now, the last time we had the Gemini cycle was 2012. So that took us to 2020, 8-year cycle, right? But now we're starting the Capricorn cycle in 2021. The last time we went through that was 2013. So the only other thing I like to say about the big cycle that I like everyone to know about that 5-pointed star that she draws in the sky with her path through her travels is that my theory goes like this. And I'm going to take us back to that 2013 point, which was the last time we had Capricorn, right? So after that, it went into Leo. Leo always asks us to reconnect with the heart. What do we love? And then it went to Aries, activating a whole new identity and purpose, which led to Scorpio in 2018. And we all got reconnected with power in certain ways. And so this is, like I said, my theory is if you have a new identity, you gain access to new power. As we did our clearing work around Scorpio, it led to the Gemini cycle. Once you're connected to your new identity and your new power, we get to Gemini, and all of a sudden you have a lot more options and opportunities and choices to make and things like that. And you might take notice that in the last 18 months, we have explored some radically different ideas and things, but it's been very challenging to ground anything. And now we get to Capricorn, and she asks that we create those containers and that foundation that's going to support and protect the juiciest ideas, the most potent ideas that are bubbling within you. Now, the next 18 months is going to be about creating those containers. But as it does, after Capricorn, it goes back to Leo. And when we get into Capricorn, we often get very responsible and deeply dedicated, and we do things for the good of the world in a certain way or the good of our family and community. But Leo's like, where's the heart? Where's the love? You got to love it. You can't be in it just for the money or just for the prestige or some of the shadow things that go with Capricorn. Leo wants you to express it in your own creative way. And so this just goes round and round, where we're developing our values and priorities and shifting them as we evolve, as we grow in our consciousness, as we learn that new things turn us on and excite us and we're passionate about. And so I hope you'll consider joining us. Let's dive into story time now. For this is our last month together. I'm so excited and sad at the same time, but I know some of you are going to keep going because that always happens. And it is fun to do them over and over because you get so good at tracking yourself and communicating with Venus, who keeps us on point with our relationships and finances on what I call love, money, and magnetics, right? That's her domain. And so this Capricorn crossover is kind of a big deal because our last month of the old cycle is in a reclamation amazing root chakra place. Okay. So the theory is, like we said, we did that first 9 months releasing the old narrative, hit Aries and had to embody a new purpose, which we've been reclaiming since March of 2021, month by month, crown to the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, to the power center, to the sacral, to get creative. And now we're in the root. What do you want in form? What do you already have in form? What do you want to put a structure to? How close to making commitments and deepening your dedication are you? And how do you feel about commitment and new roles and responsibilities coming out of this new narrative that you're stepping into, right? So another thing I can say to those of you who haven't been traveling along with us month by month is that our release side overall archetype was the trickster. So we were clearing out the trickster. And then our reclamation was the pioneer because of that Aries. We're in new territory, y'all. This is a new beginning no matter how you slice it, okay? But the overall archetype is the storyteller, because that was the ultimate goal of the last 18 months, was to get us to release the old narrative, the old story, the old belief systems, the old ideas, thoughts, and concepts. They've run their course at a minimum to the last 8 years, okay? And so this month, we want to concentrate on what we want to bring into form, okay? So looking at how you activate your ability to ground one of your ideas in form. You're now on a firm foundation with amazing creations to take forward that can and will truly benefit you with an 8-year return on your 18-month investment, which is what we've just done. And even if you haven't been with us, you've been through this Venus process. And it is so delicious to become conscious of it and then co-create. This month, our archetype is the engineer. Because like I said, we're starting to put the pieces together of the bones of what we're going to stand on going forward. And our story is Conscious Woman, which is the ultimate goal of Kathy Pagano's book, Wisdom's Daughters, How Women Can Change the World. And you're going to love our story time. But this month is going to activate the Capricorn part of you that's capable of creating a vision or plan and then committing to the steps necessary to create a good container for your new ideas. It's time to create a good foundation for your new purpose going forward. This month, you choose what to make real, that which will evolve and grow out of the choices and decisions of the last year and a half. Deep breath. Engineer asks you to design your life consciously. Look at all aspects of your life and know that now you can create a stronger foundation for living because you have simplified things and eliminated the non-essential. Now the really important aspects of your relationships and resources can shine through and begin to truly reflect your new values and priorities. Shadow Engineer only considers the ends without considering the effects of the means on life itself. We don't want to roll that way. Conscious Woman asks you to stay grounded in your reality and connected to your higher self at the same time so that you are more effective in life. She helps you heal the wounds of a patriarchal system and returns you to a wholeness that is only possible when you honor life and the sacred feminine. She helps you remain awake and conscious as you navigate your new truth and story. She is within you and can help you get anchored and comfortable in this new leadership role you have chosen for your own life. Conscious Woman helps you reclaim your inner authority to build a life of love, light, and truth. This month will fortify the connection to your physical body and root chakra, initiating and reclaiming the ability to enjoy being here in a physical body this lifetime. Even if you have had somewhat of a confusing journey with this particular cycle, you're still standing. You faced some very deep truths, made willing sacrifices, and facilitated the necessary changes to set yourself up for success going forward. It's time to give yourself credit where credit is due. And like I said, whether you followed along or not, you are graduating this month, y'all. So let's dive in. Conscious Woman. Someday there will be girls and women whose name will no longer signify merely an opposite of the masculine, but something in itself, something that makes one think not of any complement and limit, but only of life and existence, the feminine human being. This advance will, at first, much against the will of the outstripped men, change the love experience, which is now full of error. It will alter it from the ground up, reshape it into relation that is meant to be from one human being to another, no longer of man to woman, and this more human love that will fulfill itself, infinitely considerate and gentle in binding and releasing, will resemble that which we are preparing with struggle and toil, that love that consists in this, that two solitudes protect and border and salute each other. Letters to a Young Poet, R.M. Rilke. This is from Chapter 8, The New Birth, Seeing Through a Glass Darkly. Our civilization is in the process of transformation. We are becoming new human beings, global humans. The whole community of life, nature, animals, humans, must prosper if we are to survive and thrive. There is no way around it. We must change. We must evolve. While we live under seemingly constant terrorist threats, if we can believe the U.S. Pentagon, the more challenging threat is actually climate change. Worldwide pollution and overpopulation are reaching critical mass. Our world economy, which is collapsing, is based on the paradigm of perpetual war and conspicuous consumption, which creates the widening gap between the wealthy and the poor. AIDS is widespread and old diseases are making a comeback. Women are still the victims of male violence and neglect, with over 2.4 million women and girls kidnapped into slavery and over 100 million women dead and missing from neglect. All of the terrors of the Book of Revelation are present in our world. We cannot pull the covers over our heads and pretend that everything will be fine. But we also do not have to let the patriarchy's new world order, run by multinational corporations, be our only option for the future, especially because it is not our best option. We cannot wait for a savior to rescue us. We have to save ourselves. We have to become conscious. We must take responsibility for our world. But we will never get the balance right if women do not recognize and assume our native powers and talents, not as daughters of the patriarchy, but as an awakened psyche soul, conscious daughters of Lady Wisdom. Deep breath. This is what we get to reclaim in Capricorn 2 is our wisdom, our embodied wisdom, our earned wisdom. What have you learned in the last 18 months about your values and priorities? As we reject the dominator model of relationship and work at a partnership model, all our relationships, personal and planetary, will prosper. We all need to learn what it feels like to live this way so that we feel secure enough to allow equality between partners. If our intimate relationships are based on the partnership model, we won't be afraid to attempt a partnership relationship with those people and nations who disagree with us. We will know how to trust the mediating presence of love. Deep breath. Why is it so hard to imagine the Judeo-Christian West and the Islamic Middle East sitting down together to figure out a way to create a global society that reflects a mixture of our values and creates life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all the world, not just America? America used to be the model for freedom around the world. It is time for America and the West to grow up and take responsibility for our actions. But when our governments or religious political groups insist on the dominator model, our way or the highway, on both sides, this vision of partnership is denied and invalidated. As women clothed with the sun, meaning conscious women, we must bring this partnership model consciously into our intimate relationships so the political body begins to feel comfortable with it. Like Scheherazade, we must enchant men into giving up their killing rage and accept the possibilities of love. Until we do, there will be no true peace on earth or between the sexes. Deep breath. The woman clothed with the sun is an image of the divine feminine that can teach us wisdom. As we begin to work with this goddess image, it is like seeing a dim reflection in a mirror, trying to understand who this archetypal woman is and what she is trying to teach us. The first step in knowing her is to take on her image, to use our imaginations to feel what it is like to be clothed with the sun, to take our standpoint on the natural rhythms of the moon, and to be crowned by the spiritual light of the stars. We have to know when to wear each of Furskin's 3 dresses and be flexible enough to change which one we are wearing when it is called for. Okay, let's pause here. For those of you who haven't read the book, Wisdom's Daughters, Kathy Pagano outlines sun is our solar consciousness, moon is our lunar consciousness, and the stars is our celestial consciousness. And Furskin is our instincts and our body. In the story, the metaphor is the 3 dresses. There's a golden dress of the sun, a silvery dress of the moon, and a totally twinkled out, I always see it as all the colors of the rainbow stars. My star dress is beautiful. So that's what she's talking about. We have to learn how to switch consciousness, solar, lunar, or celestial, or be in our instincts and protect our physical body. Okay, if we get too far out of our bodies, y'all, we don't work on Earth. To be on Earth, we have to stay grounded in our bodies. When Carl Jung proposed that there is a consciousness in and of the unconscious, he characterized it as feminine because it is spirit's ways of knowing that have been repressed and lost to our rational Western ego consciousness. This feminine consciousness is imaginal in nature because the language it speaks in is the symbolic language of images, the images of our dreams, of our fantasies, and of our primary feeling experiences. Our ancient mythologies and fairy tales speak to us in this imaginal language, teaching us their wisdom through the understanding of the heart. Deep breath. This language speaks to us of the uttermost realities and the deepest truths about the way we live and die. The images are a living language which breathes life and energy into our own lives. They are the stories which teach us our humanity. So to understand this woman, we have to imagine that we are her, to become her. We modern women search for our heart's desire when we search out the images and stories of the goddess, letting them work their magic on our hearts and our minds. Deep breath. We can no longer split up the image of the comforting and comfortable girl next door from that of the courageous heroine, the image of the smart businesswoman from the mother, the image of the intellectual from the femme fatale, the image of the virgin from the whore. Women have 2 distinct sides. One is mysterious, cool, and distant as the moon, imaged as Isis veiled. One is opened, warm, and comforting as the sun, imaged as Isis unveiled. These images can be united within us. We just have to find ways to let them live themselves out in us. In using our imaginations the way we did as children, these archetypal images can speak to us and open us up to divine spirit in the world all around us, making us newly aware in very concrete ways that there are other dimensions of reality of which we are a part. Deep breath. The dynamic of transformation is at the very heart of the mystery of feminine spirit. That is why it is so important for women to reclaim our ancient knowledge and powers, because our world needs to undergo a transformation, and women have to lead the way. Women exemplify this in our bodies, which undergo major transformations at adolescence, pregnancy, and menopause, as well as the monthly bodily transformation of the moon cycle. Women's lush bodies image creation and destruction and transformation, the ability to create and nourish new life, as well as the acceptance of the necessity of a blood sacrifice of the old to make way for the new. They're both part of this bodily rhythm. Each month, women renew our virginity with the shedding of the old lining of the womb, making our bodies once more ready for the conception of new life. At the same time, women can psychologically reclaim our virginity, our being in oneself, which calls forth the mystery of the unknown. Unfortunately, our fear of the unknown often keeps us blinded to the fact that with the death of the old comes the transformation into new life. If women can learn to let go of this patriarchal fear of change and death and accept the unknown, we can teach these lessons to our children and to our men. These lessons are about exploring the potentials of our body, our psyche, our imagination, and our spirit. What new wonders will come of this exploration? Whatever they are, we must pursue them with knowledge and wisdom and love, for these enduring soul qualities lead us to the truth of our humanity. Deep breath. Because women's deep bodily wisdom has been ignored and denied within the culture at large, we have also lost our personal connection to this wisdom. Like men, we would rather live in our thoughts than in our hearts. But times are changing and women are reclaiming our ancient wisdom. Just as Furskin labored in her furry mantle, women are toiling to become conscious of our instinctual nature, which is the ground of our being. Deep breath. The work of becoming conscious of the purpose and meaning of our feminine bodies can lead women to participate consciously in the psychic and spiritual transformation that comes through an understanding of our own human nature. Like the woman clothed with the sun, we can live consciously in our human bodies, knowing them for the temple of spirit that they were meant to be. When we heal our relationship with our bodies and begin to live more instinctively as well as spiritually, in the future we will find ways to consciously control conception, illness, aging, and even death by how we use the power of our imaginations and our intentions. Deep breath. Women's bodies contain as well as symbolize the creative power of transformation in our ability to conceive, gestate, give birth to, and nourish life. Feminine spirit also knows how to allow life to pass over into other states and forms. These are the psychic possibilities of the feminine spirit, just as the masculine spirit is one of initiating change, of fertilizing power, of penetrating deeper into the mysteries of life. Penetration, fertilization, opening up, taking in, conceiving, gestating, giving birth, and nourishing are psychic functions in both men and women. Women have learned about masculine spirit through the ages, becoming daughters of the Father. Now it is time to reclaim our feminine gifts and feminine spirit and bring them into equal balance with the masculine. It is the spiritual essence of the feminine to initiate openness and receptivity to the penetrating, fertilizing masculine spirit. Nothing new can be conceived without this openness, surrender, and receptivity. It takes the masculine potency down to the depths of the creative power in a spiral dance of balanced relationships. The feminine spirit knows when balance must be restored. Both Inanna and Psyche descend into the underworld to reclaim the neglected feminine aspects that rule from the unconscious, thereby initiating a new process of death and rebirth. The Christian Savior, Jesus Christ, makes that same descent to reclaim and renew the laws of spirit by submitting to his own death. While King Arthur and his warriors traveled in his ship to reclaim the Celtic treasures, the descent is the necessary path to shed old attitudes and stand in our primal nature. Deep breath. Shed old attitudes and stand in your primal nature. It is the hero and heroine journey, for after the descent there is always a return to the upper world with the treasures we have reclaimed, and a rebirth to a new sense of ourselves and of our responsibilities to our people. Our responsibilities now are to make sure that our grandchildren to the 7th generation will have a safe and viable world to live in. Deep breath. This is conscious woman or conscious feminine spirit that needs to be balanced out with what we've been experimenting with. Patriarchy is only 6,000 years old, y'all. Matriarchy is infinite, millions of years old. We gave it a shot, y'all. We tried to let them lead, and this is what they did with it. So now we have to take it back. And like she said, we have to learn how to do it in our own selves and in our own relationships before it'll take root in the social collective. So this month, I want you to think about what you're bringing into form, what you're making real, even if it ends up being just an idea or concept of harmony and peace and beauty and the possibilities of a sustainable future, okay? Because Capricorn's also very practical and what works for the whole family, what works for the whole community. The Council of Elders that Capricorn represents in shamanic astrology has to do with those who have lived long enough to understand how the world works and can look at the community and know whose gifts and talents will be best and most effective in which areas of life. So they delegate, you're good at this, go take care of this. You're good at that, you go do this. And then we can all thrive and prosper, right? If we can be individually responsible, and dedicated, then it does catch on. So that's my little story time for this month. And this is an invitation to join us on Thursday, November 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. This is a powerful day, y'all. November 4th is also the Scorpio super new moon. So we're getting together a couple of days before our actual Venus moon activation happens on November 8th, which is Monday. So we always get together a week or so before the activation so that we can go over the energies, what we've released and what we're reclaiming this month. And like I said, this is the final month in the whole 18-month cycle that we're wrapping it up. So I am putting together the custom guide and our open house, which will be free, and the official invitation to the new Venus Circle, which will be housed on my teaching platform. I'm getting really excited about it because now we can have our own private community around this as well. So lots of goodies in the new circle, lots of new protocols, but it's going to be so wonderful, and I'm so excited to share it with you in December. We're going to get it done probably the first or second week of December, and that way we can start with the first class in January on time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being part of my community. I love story time. I hope you enjoy it too. It's been so fun digging into these stories and archetypes to shift our consciousness and activate our imagination so that we can tell a much more interesting story than the death-oriented corporate consumerist madness. We can let that go. That's the old story. We tried that too. It just didn't work. So now where's the balance? Where can we call it back in for the people? Okay. And not these imaginary drones and clones running things. So call in your new reality, your new purpose, your new roles and responsibilities. And even for my gentlemen, this conscious feminine spirit just asks you to be open and receptive to learning about how we can collaborate and get more done. It's much easier when we bring the masculine and feminine together to create, to co-create. And the things that come out of that are magical and long-lasting. When we each try to go off on our own, we can only do so much before we hit the wall. And we need each other. So let's dream up the new story. That's all I can tell you. This is time to dream it up. And when we go into this Capricorn pause, where she's going to extend her stay until March, that's going to allow you to dig around in your Aries Libra, which is self versus other, and Cancer Capricorn, which is home versus work. And we're going to reset all of that. After the awakening we've had here with the Gemini cycle, we're going to go into, what the new choices will be for the new Capricorn cycle. All right, y'all. Reach out if you need to. This is Callie Beard signing off. Thanks again.